وأصحابه وأزواجه وأحبابه والتابعين أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. I want first to recognize Dr. Aziz for his kind invitation and pray for him and his team and all of you, obviously, Dr. See that as well, and all our friends and brothers and sisters here in Malaysia. It's very nice to be back. It's very nice to be amongst all of you here today. I think the idea that Aziz was giving me is maybe we can talk for 20 to 30 minutes and then open up some questions. We have Salatul Zuhr as well coming, inshallah ta'ala. Allah. The idea of love is strange because oftentimes people understand love as something passive, meaning doesn't involve struggle. Versus love is exactly the opposite. Love is about the struggle, not the withdrawing from the struggle. And with that, we'll go to the Anbiya. I'll try to go through some of the lines of the Prophets alayhim salatu wassalam to see how their life was and how love came and changed that. Number one, the Anbiya alayhim salatu wassalam, their lives, if any, was filled with challenges. I know today sometimes we think, oh, Imam Shafi'i, Imam Abu Hanifa, oh, mashallah, they must have had a great life, trouble-free, challenges-free, everything's free. What we don't oftentimes speak about is that Imam Abu Hanifa was jailed, died in jail, dhulm, out of absolute injustice to him. People spat on him, called him kafir, not just deviant, kafir actually, maybe 7-8 times, printed in books until today. And Imam Shafi'i almost escaped death by a little bit. Some shafa'a, one of the people came and said, all right, I guarantee this is a good man. Otherwise Imam Shafi'i was going to get killed. And rumors have it, or there's narrations have it, that Imam Shafi'i died, as you all know, at 54. And some people said that there was actually, he died because somebody killed him. Irrespective of all these things, when we talk about these things, we have to realize that what the life of the prophets and life of people who have a mission in general is not life that's challenge-free, but love made them go through it with ease, knowing that Allah Ta'ala is with them. Let's go with people like the Anbiya alayhim salam. Al-Bayhaqi says that the Anbiya are 124,000. The hadith is da'if, lakin that's the best we have. 124,000 Nabi came to humanity. Today we look for experts, we look for scholars, we look for people who are wise so we can learn from them. Who's better to learn from than the prophets themselves? 124,000. How many of them survived? Their very own people whom they were sent to help. Most of them were killed by the very people they were helping. Most of them, the vast majority of the prophets. وَاضْرِبْ لَهُمْ مَثَلًا رَجُلًا وَجَاءَ رَجُلٌ مِّنْ أَقْصَى الْمَدِينَةِ يَسْعَى قَالَ يَا قَوْمِ اتَّبِعُوا الْمُرْسَلِينَ اتَّبِعُوا مَنْ لَا يَسْأَلُكُمْ أَجْرًا وَهُمْ مُهْتَدُونَ. One man is running to the village telling them, look, why don't you listen to the Mursaleen? Mursaleen, not just one. Allah sent them not just 1, 2, 3 prophets. إِذْ أَرْسَلْنَا إِلَيْهِمُ اثْنَيْنِ فَكَذَّبُوهُ. One village, 2 prophets. Allah says, فَكَذَّبُوهُمَا. They called them liars. فَعَزَّزْنَا بِثَالِثٍ. We sent them a third prophet. One village, you see 3 prophets. قَالُوا إِنَّا إِلَيْكُمْ مُرْسَلُونَ. They told them, we are sent to you. We don't want anything from you. We don't want your dunya. Because look, if you want to be friends with people, don't ask for their dunya. Don't ask for their dunya. Once you ask for their dunya, you're competing with them. You'll always be best friends if you are best friends for the akhirah. Once you bring the dunya in, dunya is a difficult scenario. We are going to compete. Now it becomes the struggle of competition and outdoing the other. And that's why the friendship of the dunya never lasts. But friendship for the sake of Allah always lasts. مَا كَانَ لِلَّهِ يَبْقَى. Whatever is for Allah will stay. Whatever is for the dunya will remain in the dunya. Well, dunya is not going to last. This village that Surah Yasin speaks about, look at the love and look at the struggle. Because I don't want to take love away from struggle. A life with no struggle is meaningless. Meaningless. There's no need for taklif if there is no struggle. Why don't we just live in Jannah? قالوا إِنَّا إِلَيْكُمْ مُرْسَلُونَ قالوا مَا أَنْتُمْ إِلَّا بَشَرٌ مِثْلُنَا. Why should you be the ones who give us a message? Well, we don't need your message. وَمَا أَنزَلَ الرَّحْمَنُ مِنْ شَيْءٍ أَنْتُمْ لَتَكْذِبُونَ. You are just liars, they told them, the people of the village. قالوا رَبُّنَا يَعْلَمُ. Allah knows. إِنَّا إِلَيْكُمْ مُرْسَلُونَ وَمَا عَلَيْنَا إِلَّا الْبَلَاغُ الْمُبِينُ. All we have to tell you is just give them the message. We're not here to force you. We don't want to coerce you into doing anything. We're not here to tell you. All we can do is share our thoughts with you. Look at that, even minimum. Sharing our thoughts. We care. And then Allah Ta'ala speaks about وَجَاءَ رَجُلٌ مِّنْ أَقْصَى الْمَدِينَةِ يَسْعَى. Shuf, this man, one man, the whole city is against the 3 prophets. One man only. Well, Allah says, min aqsa al-Madina, from the furthest edge of the city, meaning he's far. He's not involved in the whole thing there. He's from far away. And he heard. And when he heard the haqq, he couldn't abandon the truth. Right? Our mashayikh have always said, if you can't defend the haqq, don't clap for the batil. You can't say the truth. Well, don't be clapping for the batil. Minimum. You clap for the batil, you're part of it now. This man couldn't, because the love of Allah moved him. Because again, I said love is that unity in times of difficulty. I don't need you to be generous when everybody is sleeping on a full stomach. Your generosity is okay. I need you to be generous when generosity is called for. Like Sayyidina Ali allegedly says that أَلْفَيَنَّكَ بَعْدَ الْمَوْتِ تَنْدِبُنِي وَفِي حَيَاتِي مَا زَوَّدْتَنِي زَادًا. Ali radiallahu anhu allegedly says, I don't want you to cry after me because now I died, and when I was living you never helped me. I don't need your help after I die. I need your help now. And the reason for the struggle brings people. I always say this camaraderie in struggle. I know I'm using the word that our socialist brothers use, but that's not what I mean. I mean with it the camaraderie in the actual sense, the camaraderie of the struggle. That's what made the Sahaba radiallahu anhu. You may have heard the story about the Sahaba in one of the battles that were all wounded and they were laying down next to each other. And when someone brings them water, he says, give the water to the one next to me. And the one says, give the water to the one next to me. And the other one says, give the water to the one next to me. And by that time, everyone is favoring the other over themselves. Camaraderie in the struggle, we're all the same. What unites us is much bigger than that which divides us. But why did they favor each other over themselves, even though they have a need? Love. That's love in action. Because love is in action. Al-Anbiya alayhi salatu wasalam were focused on the message. They know. Those 3 people that were sent to the village in Surah Yasin, they knew. And the man who came, Habib al-Najjar, some of the Mufassirin say his name is Habib al-Najjar. Habib al-Najjar, the carpenter, who came, وَجَاءَ رَجُلٌ مِّنْ أَقْصَى الْمَدِينَةِ يَسْعَى. This is Habib. He knows what he wants. He knows exactly. He's focused. Knows what's going on. Knows the game. قَالَ يَا قَوْمِ اتَّبِعُوا الْمُرْسَلِينَ اتَّبِعُوا مَنْ لَا يَسْأَلُكُمْ أَجْرًا وَهُمْ مُهْتَدُونَ. They told him, are you with them? قَالَ وَمَا لِيَ لَا أَعْبُدُ الَّذِي فَطَرَنِي وَإِلَيْهِ تُرْجَعُونَ. Why shouldn't I worship the one who created me? And to him all of you shall return. Not just me. You will also have to face. You will also have to go back. You also have questions that you need to have answers for. Just because you think you can slack in this dunya, you can get away with not carrying the message in this dunya, you can get away with not actually avoiding the challenges of this dunya. What makes us different as human beings? Food, sleep, drinks, and we drink, work, so we can eat and build a house, having families and children. All these things we share with chickens as well. Chickens also, they build a home, they sleep, they eat, they drink, they have families, everything. Like, where is وَلَقَدْ كَرَّمْنَا بَنِي آدَمَ? Where is that what Allah says? We have honored the children of Adam. وَلَقَدْ كَرَّمْنَا بَنِي آدَمَ. Where's that takreem? That honoring. Takreem is by carrying the risala. Carrying the risala. That message. You carry the message. Otherwise we live a life of, I'm not saying the chickens are bad. Chickens are good. Allah bless them. And hope things still go this way where we're eating them, not eating us. Imagine if the situation was reversed and the chickens would be looking for the human beings to eat. We'd be running away from chickens. If we keep giving them steroids, that's probably what's going to happen eventually. I don't know. We will turn into chickens and they will eat us now. Because, Like, the point is that when the people, when the people came to Abu Talib and they told Abu Talib, speak to your nephew. Tell him, we can make a deal. One time east, one time west. One time this, one time that. When Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he told them, if the ulama of this year have related this authentically, if they put the sun in my right hand and the moon in my left hand, I would not give that. There are principles in life. And the words of the Anbiya was a principle. Otherwise, life has no meaning. Eating and drinking and sleeping and working, we share with all other animals. What's the meaning of life? What have we accomplished then? Same with these people. وَجَاءَ رَجُلٌ مِّنْ أَقْصَى الْمَدِينَةِ. He told them. They told him, are you with them? قَالَ وَمَا لِيَ لَا. He said, well, why shouldn't I worship the one who created me? What do you mean? Why do you want me to do this? I want to be with these 3 prophets. They killed him. They killed him. They gave him, before they killed him, one last chance. You have one final chance in our democracy. Because the word democracy now, you can put so much corruption under democracy. You call whatever and you say it's democracy. You cause lots of harm and you use democracy. to also take in effect in consideration the benefit of the people, the objectives of the people, the longevity of the people. To speak, and that's why it's important for the people to speak. It's important for people when we talk. The reason I'm saying these things because today Islam the word Islam has been abused. You see extremists use the word Islam, and you see people use the word Islam also to okay. And the same thing with all these terms, whether it's democracy, whether it's liberal, whether it's conservative. People use these models, these names, sometimes these terms, and they're abused. And it's important for us in a society that's free and a society that thinks, it's important to us to actually step up and take part. Not having part of the direction on the right way is not an option. That's why وَجَاءَ رَجُلٌ مِّنْ أَقْصَى الْمَدِينَةِ يَسْعَى. That's why a man came from the end of the city walking. Yas'a, meaning doing sa'i, running. No time to waste. No time to waste. Either you accomplish what you want in life or you die trying. But having food only is not an accomplishment per se. All right. They gave him one last chance. The man said, إِنِّي آمَنْتُ بِرَبِّكُمْ فَاسْمَعُونَ. They killed him. When they killed him, as you know, when a human being dies, they see their place, whether they are in Jannah, as Allah كذلك, or whether they are in Jahannam, نعوذ بالله من ذلك. So when he saw his place in Jannah, Shaheed now, they killed him. إِنِّي آمَنْتُ بِرَبِّكُمْ فَاسْمَعُونَ. Immediately Allah says, قِيلَ ادْخُلِ الْجَنَّةِ. Immediately the Malaika showed him Jannah, and they told him, enter Jannah. قال يا, immediately again, notice the ayah, قال يا ليت قومي يعلمون. I wish my people who killed him can see what I am seeing. They just killed you. Love. I wish they can see what I am seeing. يا ليت قومي يعلمون. I wish they know بما أكرمني ربي جعلني من المكرمين. بما غفر لي ربي عفوا جعلني. By what Allah has forgiven me and made me among the honorable in Jannah. That's a journey of love. But a journey of love that united this man who was a stranger with the 3 prophets in the city. United was because of love. He gave his life happily because of love, and he didn't even have hate towards the very people who killed him and said, Ya layta qawmi ya'lamun. Why? Not because they haven't done an evil thing. They've done a very evil thing, but because his belief in the Lord subhanahu wa ta'ala and Allah azza wa jal granted him much higher love for the vision and the mission that he was in, and united him with people he didn't even know. For the message to be complete, that's why today we hear their message. The message of those 3 prophets, we hear it until today resonating in the message of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's why we have the message, because of the sacrifice of those people around the principles they believed in, and they never wavered. But if they had given up and nobody's, even one person, so sometimes we say, well, what can we do with one person? Hey, there will be nations with only one prophet and nobody else but him. Ibrahim himself, alayhi salatu wasalam, Allah says about him, Inna Ibrahim kana ummah. Ibrahim by himself is an ummah. Don't underestimate the power of one person. That power of one person that joined the prophets did this. Same thing with Sayyidina Nuh alayhi salatu wasalam. Look at Nuh alayhi salatu wasalam. How many things with Nuh? He builds the ark at the command of Allah in a mountainous region. You're on top of the mountains, you build the ark. You build an ark if you are on the sea, if you're at the banks of a river, not in the mountains, you build an ark. And he's an old wise man. They come mock him, they belittle him. Look, it's one thing when people mock liars. Well, say, you've lied, so we deserve it. It's another when people actually call truthful people liars. It's even higher when they call prophets liars. They mock him, etc., etc. He builds the ark. What else do you want? In a mountain, and the flood comes, and the ark, his own son, so we don't go far. His own son, who saw? There was first no water, and there was no ark, and the people mocked him. And now the water is there, and the ark is there, and the people are on the ark. ونوح عليه الصلاة والسلام tells his own son في القرآن قال يا بني اركب معنا. Oh son, board the ark with us. And don't be مع الظالمين, مع الكافرين. Don't be with those people. You're going to lose son. He's telling him son, he saw his own son. There are challenges, just so we understand that your own son, your own family, your own community will be doing wrong work. Your job is not to disenfranchise. The job of Nuh alayhi salatu wasalam, to still keep offering. قال يا بني اركب معنا يا son, come board. Okay, the son, he thinks he knows. That's what wisdom. That's where wisdom comes. Wisdom comes with lots of experiences. You can't learn wisdom in a 4-year degree or a 6-year degree or a 10-year degree. It takes lots of degrees and lots of experiences to learn that wisdom. Nuh alayhi salatu wasalam tells his son, لا عاصم بعد اليوم. Nothing, he said, سآوي إلى جبل يعصمني. The son of Nuh alayhi salam tells him, I will go to the highest level of the mountain. It will protect me from the water. And Nuh alayhi salatu wasalam replies to him, son, you don't understand. This is not that you're escaping the power of water. You cannot escape the power of Allah. You can go to any mountain you want. It's not the power of water that's the problem here. قال سآوي إلى جبل يعصمني. قال لا عاصم. There's nothing to protect. Allah says وحال بينهما الموج فكان من المغرقين, and then obviously the water separated them. Still, after this, just so we see, Nuh alayhi salatu wasalam, the Quran depicts him in a picture. After this, after his son is there, he tells him, Ya Allah, inna ibni min ahli wa inna wa'daka al-haq. Ya Allah, he's my son. Can you save him? He's my son. Save him. The love in the hearts of the Prophets alayhi salatu wasalam, in the face of difficulties, of challenges. But in this scenario, Allah tells Nuh alayhi salatu wasalam, Ya Nuh, innahu laysa min ahlik. Nuh, he's not from your family. But look what happened with his people, with his son. What drove them all together? What made Nuh alayhi salatu wasalam continue in the mission? That resolve that he had, that belief that he had, strong faith that does not waver in the faces of challenges. There are always going to be challenges. Life can never look. If you're looking for a life without challenges, you've got the wrong address. It's the akhirah, not the dunya. You're in the wrong place. You have to wait until you go to the akhirah. Then, inshallah, if you're in Jannah, life will have no challenges there. But so long as you're in the dunya, welcome to the dunya. Welcome to the dunya. You got to have a path in this life where you positively contribute and where the love of Allah brings those challenges and colors them in a different way. Makes them sweeter, makes them nicer. We will always be impatient. We will always have issues. And the love of Allah is that drive that brings you closer to your mission and bring you closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It makes life easier even in the worst case scenarios, which will always happen in the dunya. Don't be surprised by the dunya. Because if the dunya surprises you, you haven't seen the dunya yet. You're going to have a lot to learn, my friend. Therefore, let me finish with the Prophet ﷺ. 13 years in Nabi ﷺ in Mecca, and then 10 years in Medina, right? 23 years. After 13 years, Rasulullah ﷺ giving da'wah day and night in Mecca. Mecca was small. Small. Even until now, it's not that big. But then was very, very small. But 13 years he's working, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he's working on the people in Mecca. 13 years, day and night. Sayyidina Nuh says, دَعَوْتُ قَوْمِي لَيْلًا وَنَهَارًا. I made da'wah during the day and during the night, Ya Allah. Not just during the day. Layl and nahar, both. Right. After 13 years, less than 100 people believe in Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. 13 years. He goes to a Ta'if. A Ta'if is about 70 kilometers from Mecca today. If you want to go to a Ta'if, 70 kilometers more or less from Mecca. He sallallahu alaihi wasallam has distant relatives of Ta'if. So he walks there. Walks. Not like us. Right. Walks. Struggle. You say, but